As I promised to reflect on the life and personality of 12 Imams based on the occasions, we are approaching the dhikr of wafat, the martyrdom of Al-Imam Al-Kazim, the 7th Imam of the 12 Ithna Ashari Imams, 12 Imam or Ithna Ashari Al-Maktab Al-Imamiyya. And today is an introduction, inshallah. Next week we will go more in details of life of this great Imam. We know that Imamah or leadership is a principle in our faith system. We believe that the position of Imamah is very close to the position of Nubuwwah, the prophethood. As Allah chooses a person with qualities for the position of prophethood, this is the prophet who chooses the Imam and his successor under the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect the message, to promote the message, to explain the message, and to bring this message of the Quran in practice. This is a hadith that from the Holy Prophet, Man mata wa lam ya'raf imam zamanih, mata mitat al-jahiliyyah. If someone died and did not know his leader, her leader, his Imam, then did not pledge allegiance to the Imam of the time, then this person had died the death of Jahiliyyah. An authentic hadith, Hadith Thaqalain, that is mentioned in all the books of Shia and Sunni, that the Prophet said, إِنِّي تَارِكٌ فِيكُمُ الثَّقَلَيْنِ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَعِتْرَتِي لَنْ يَفْتَرِقَ حَتَّى يَرِدَ عَلَيَّ الْحَوْضِ. I'm leaving among my ummah two legacies, the Book of Allah and my family. My family is there to explain Book of Allah, to protect it, to promote it, to practice it. And as long as you as the ummah follow these two legacies, that they don't separate from each other till the day of judgment, that they come together to meet to Al-Kawthar, the water of the kingdom, the water of paradise. They stay together, and if you follow them, you don't get lost. There is another hadith that is famous. مثل أهل بيتي كمثل سفينة نوح من ركبها نجا ومن تخلف عنها غرق. The example of Ahlul Bayt is example of the Ark of Noah. If you get on board, you are safe. If you refuse to get on board of this ark, you will be drowned. And in another occasion that the Prophet said, إِنِّي سِلْمٌ لِمَنْ صَلَمَكُمْ وَحَرْبٌ لِمَنْ حَرَبَكُمْ. He is in peace with those who are in peace with this asset, the asset of the family of the Prophet. And he is at war with those who are at war with this community of Ahlul Bayt and this great honorable family. Imam Shafi'i is saying that the love for Ahlul Bayt is not something that we made it. This is something that Allah said it. Ya Ahlul Bayt Rasulullah hubbukum wa amrun min Allah fil Quran anzalahu. This is something from God, it's mentioned in the Quran. It's not something that you and we ever made that we love Ahlul Bayt. No, Allah says, قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةِ فِي الْقُرْبَى. The love for qurba, for the family of the Prophet, for Ahlul Bayt, is something from God in the Quran, and it's not something that we initiated that. Even the isma, infallibility of Ahlul Bayt, this is something that's not that the Shia made it, that they said that the Imams are ma'soom. Allah says, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. He provided that special purity for Ahlul Bayt. That was the iradatullah, that was the desire of Allah, that this family stay perfect and pure. And this tathiran, this is the same maqam al-isma, that they are infallible, that they are absolutely pure from any sin. That's another word for infallibility and maqam al-isma. And another position of Ahlul Bayt, maqam al-adalah, that is again in the Quran. وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُنَّ قَالَ إِنِّي جَاعِلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا قَالَ وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِي قَالَ لَا يَنَالُ أَحْدِ الظَّالِمِينَ. When Abraham, after passing all those tough tests, got to the position that Allah said, now you are Imam. You already were a prophet, you Khalilullah, Khalilur Rahman, everything. But now after going through so many tests, the final title for Ibrahim was جَعَلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا. And when Abraham said that, oh Allah, this position is also for generations to come, for my children, for everybody that's coming from this house. And Allah says, لا ينال أحد الظالمين. If they are unjust, if they are people of dhulm, if you are not practicing adalah, then they don't deserve that. So Allah said the zalimeen means those who don't practice adalah, they don't deserve this. And this is why, brothers and sisters, as adalah al-imamah, there are two principles in the school of thought of al-imamiyah, that we believe that all Muslims believe in God and the nubuwwah and the day of judgment. But then al-imamiyah, they believe in two more principles, al-imam al-adalah, they come together. There is no imamah without adalah, and there is no adalah without a real good leadership. And then Moosa ibn Jaffar alayhi salam, coming from this school of thought. His father is Al-Imam Sadiq, and you all know about the university of Al-Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, and Al-Kazim, which is the title. Another title is Al-Abd Al-Salih, the righteous servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another title for him is Babul Hawa'ij, the gate of help and blessing, that those who are in need of guidance. Al-Imam Al-Kazim, with total patience and with the quality of being the graduate of university of a father like Al-Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, who said, Ibni Moosa kal-Masih, and he made this established that my son Moosa ibn Jaffar, his example is example of Masih al-Maryam, Masih ibn Maryam, in purity, in worship, in humbleness, in love, in patience, in all the quality. My son Moosa is like Masih alayhi salam. Yes, this university of Al-Imam Sadiq that trained people like Jabir ibn Hayyan, Hisham ibn Hakam, Mu'min al-Taq, Mufaddal ibn Amr, Zarara, Abu Basir, and 4,000 qualified people. Then you can imagine the top disciple and student of this university is Al-Imam Moosa ibn Jaffar alayhi salam. So his father is Al-Imam Sadiq. You can imagine the amount of the ocean of knowledge and wisdom as a great legacy and heritage in this great personality, Moosa ibn Jaffar. His father is a man that he went to Iraq only for 2 years, because Imam Sadiq used to live in Medina. For 2 years he lived in Kufa. But even in such a short time, someone like Hassan al-Washah says, رأيت في مسجد الكوفة 900 شيخ كل يقول حدثني جعفر بن محمد. I went to Masjid Kufa and I saw almost 900 great scholars, that everybody who talked, he said, this is what my teacher Al-Imam Sadiq alayhi salam told me about philosophy, about jurisprudence, about tafsir, about hadith, about all different, even natural sciences, chemistry, physics, and others. And now you see number one of students of this university is Al-Imam Moosa ibn Jaffar alayhi salam, his knowledge, and also in purity and prayer. When even someone who hates Moosa ibn Jaffar, someone like Harun al-Rashid, he says, Huwa Rahibul Hashimiyin, the monk of the family of Bani Hashim. Even he acknowledged that this man fasts during the day and prays in the night, and shows that much humility when he deals with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when he deals with people of Allah. He learned from his father to stand against injustice and oppression, And his father, Imam Sadiq said that there are three people or three groups of people who are partners in oppression. Number one, those who oppress the Zalimeen, obviously. Number two, those who help the Zalimeen, they are partners of oppression. And number three, those who are satisfied with their silence, they said nothing against Zalimeen and aggressors, they are the part of the Zalimeen as well. Unfortunately, Ahlul Bayt, all of these 11 Imams died in a very unnatural death. And none of them died in a natural death, and except Imam Sadiq, who lived longer. The rest of them, majority of them, they were very young when they passed and they left this world. And unfortunately, not only the Imams, but even their school of thought was under injustice and oppression. Not only during their time, even now. You see this bad news every day of explosion and in Iraq or in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, now in Syria. Almost 95% of the victims of all this terrorism and crimes and explosion are the people who are identified with the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. And this is our responsibility, brothers and sisters, to follow the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt, to make sure that the enemies cannot abuse even more. There is already a conspiracy, there is already a mess, there is already a big fitna, there are so many khawarij here and there. It is our responsibility to promote the message of unity, the message of logic, the message of love, the message of reconciliation, the message of peace, the message of Ahlul Bayt, and tell everybody that what you see is not really a problem between Shi'i and Sunni. They are making it like this, Shi'a and Sunni. But what about Libya? There is a big mess in Libya. Is there Shi'a and Sunni? All of them are Sunni and all of them are Arab and all the same school of thought. What about in Egypt? The same thing, the same language and same school of thought. There is a mess in Egypt as well. What about Sudan? There is a mess in Sudan. Now, in Syria and Iraq, they can, call it Shia and Sunni. In other areas, they choose different names. But there is our situation that we need to work on this awareness and education. I have invited the ulama and Shia and Sunni to, we always gather once a month, and last week they were in the House of Wisdom, but now I called, it's been a while, for all the ulama in Michigan to get together one day, because when we meet for 2 hours or 3 hours, and I suggested to get the whole day from the morning till the evening, get together and bring some education among ourselves first. Because sometimes we as leaders of religious leaders of community have problem like the other awam, they have the same problem. Sometimes some mashayikh suffer from the same ignorance and the problem. And one of the meetings I said, really, when you talk about Shia and Sunni, what are the differences? You say it's the same God and same Quran and same Nabi and the same Qibla and the Salat and Siyam and Hajj and Zakat. The concepts are the same. Now we have issue about the Khilafah. Let us agree to disagree on that. That's fine. And I said, when we deal with Christians, for example, so how we talk with Christians, with non-Muslims? Do we have to say that Jesus was God in order to talk with them? Do they have to say that Muhammad, peace be upon him, was Khatamul Anbiya, the last messenger, in order for them to talk with us? Because if we say what they say, then we are Christian. If they say what we say about Prophet Muhammad, then they are Muslims. And this is not practical. So let us focus on similarities and agree that there are certain areas that they want to say that Jesus was Son of God, and we are saying that Jesus was the Spirit of God. Okay, let us agree to disagree on some issues. You can talk with the Shia till the day of judgment. They are not going to say Muawiyah radiallahu anh. Forget about that. So don't force on this. They are not going to say that. They are going to say Muawiyah was wrong and he was zalim. He refused to do the bay'ah with Imam Ali and he committed crime. So don't expect the Shia to say Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. So forget about this part. But go with all other 80-90% of similarities. You cannot convince the followers of Imam Ali that Imam Ali was the fourth Khalifa. They are not going to accept that. And you cannot force Ahl Sunnah to forget about Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman. They are going to say that, yeah, first and second and third and fourth is Imam Ali. On that area we agree to disagree, as we do the same thing with the Christians. But then there are other areas that we can work together and we can agree. So should we fight till the day of judgment because some of us say that Imam Ali is the fourth Khalif and some of us say Imam Ali is the first Khalif? Or we have to show understanding and tolerance and say, Lakum ra'yukum wa lana ra'yuna, and we respect this disagreement and don't expect from us to convert 100% to what you say, and we don't expect you to convert 100% to what we say. And this is the issue. In the mess of Syria, let us agree, please, that this is not a Shia and Sunni issue, although they are making it. But there are different groups. And both groups, they believe that they are right. Let us have a dialogue about that. When we do a dialogue, doesn't mean that you want to say, I'm right 100%, you are wrong 100%. That's not the meaning of dialogue. This is jadal, this is debate. The dialogue is to express ourselves and have a collective communication for the sake of discovering more truth and learning from one another and answer some of the questions. We cannot expect Hezbollah to believe in Al-Qaeda. We cannot expect Al-Qaeda to believe in Hezbollah. They think different way. We cannot, as an ummah, to turn Hezbollah to Al-Qaeda or Al-Qaeda to Hezbollah. But something that we can say to everyone, that for the sake of God, let us stop this bloodshed. Let us bring some reconciliation. And one party, we see that one party say, we are ready for dialogue, we are ready for negotiation, we are answering the call of peace positively, and one group is saying, no, 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 just revenge, we want to just kill. We don't want to talk, we don't want to sit down, we don't want to have negotiation, and we want to continue this qital. This is the responsibility of the ummah, that please, if both of you believe that you are mu'mineen, the answer is in the Quran, وَإِن طَائِفَتَانِ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ اقْتَتَلُوا فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَهُمَا. If two fighting groups of the Muslim community, they are killing each other, come and make reconciliation between them. فَإِن بَغَتْ إِحْدَاهُمَا عَلَى الْأُخْرَى فَقَاتِلُوا الَّتِي تَبْغِي حَتَّى تَفِيَ إِلَى أَمْرِ اللَّهِ. If one group rejects the call for peace, then the ummah is responsible to fight the aggressive group till they are convinced to stop. فَإِن فَاءَتْ فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَهُمَا بِالْعَدْلِ وَأَقْسِطُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُقْسِطِينَ. If they were convinced to stop the fire of the fitna, then establish justice. One verse and 3 times is talking about, 4 times as a matter of fact, 5 times talking about sulh and justice. 5 times in one verse call for peace and justice, for islah and for qist and adl. So let us return to Quran and let the Quran be a judge between all of us. I hope that those people that now they forgot about democracy in Syria, forgot about freedom, they just talk about revenge, 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 intiqam, and the bath of blood. They realize that if they want to die, die, But what about the innocent men, women and children? Thousands of them in Syria, they are suffering. Thousands and millions of them are suffering in Iraq. What about ordinary people? What is their ذنب and their sin that they have to be the victims of this arrogance and stubbornness and the fire of this fitna? So this is our call for dialogue and for peace and reconciliation based on justice. And let us conclude this with honoring the memory of a man who stood up in 20th century and called for the unity of the ummah. And he was the greatest and the most unique marja and leader in the history of Imamiyya, Allah yarhamuhu, Al-Imam Al-Khomeini, Quddis Sirruh, who was the caller of unity and peace and justice among this ummah. نقل على روحه في ذكرى وفاته، ذكرى السنوية لوفاة الإمام الخميني قدس سره، وعلى أرواح الشهداء والمؤمنين والمؤمنات. سورة الفاتحة بعد الصلوات على محمد وآل محمد.